Hi guys, welcome back to Bible on Rotation. Today we're going to be talking about Exodus 16. I wish I had a microphone because I feel really far away from the camera. I have a new ring light, so it's a little bit different. But let me explain that I've changed the way that I'm doing this again. I'm pretty sure this will be the last change, but we're still going to do one chapter at a time. But I have been actually reading this chapter the last few days, and I took notes, which I have right here, and we're going to kind of use that to have a little bit of a conversation this time. And I may do this in future chapters, and I may not, but this one in particular really resonated with me and stuff that I am going through, so I figured I can't be the only one, and I'd like to have a conversation with you. This is the chapter where it basically starts out talking about how the Israelites were complaining in the wilderness, like they just left Egypt, and now they're saying, oh, I wish we could go back, it was so much better there, that kind of thing. And so I was asking myself, like, what led them to this point where they were finally free and then and then they're all of a sudden like wanting to go back and complaining. Like, what got them to that point? And what I answered for my own life would be like frustration with life circumstances and wishing for better. Like, if it was me, at least this is how I'm feeling presently, so I can kind of relate. It's almost like you have all these hopes and dreams that things will be better in the future if this one thing in life changes. For them, I guess, leaving Egypt, but it could be whatever for you personally. But it's this idea that life will be better if this circumstance changes, and then you experience that change, and then it starts to become normal. And it may even be frustrating, and that's kind of how I feel right now. I was even thinking about this the other day, even before reading this. Like, my church's word for the year is better, and I have a little card that sits on my dresser. I might even insert a picture right here so you can see what I'm talking about. But the other day I was just sitting there and I was crying, and I was thinking, like, how is this better? Like, this is not what I thought better would look like. And I watched a video here on YouTube, and the girl was talking about what if the goal of all of these circumstances is not about your circumstances being better, but about God making you better. And so that was convicting, and I'm still struggling with it, but I kind of want to hear your thoughts, like if you're going through this yourselves in different situations, or maybe I'm just the only one. But anyway, that is the context for what I have been thinking as I've read through this chapter this week. And now we're going to get into the normal, like, Bible on Rotation reading. So let's start with, we're going to start by reading verses 1 through 3, and then I have something else to share, and I'm just going to like do a couple verses at a time. We'll talk about it and then keep going. So, Chapter 16, verse 1. They set out from Elim, and all the congregation of the people of Israel came to the wilderness of Sin, which is between Elim and Sinai, on the 15th day of the 2nd month after they had departed from the land of Egypt. And the whole congregation of the people of Israel grumbled against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness. And the people of Israel said to them, would that we had died by the hand of the Lord in the land of Egypt, when we sat by the meat pots and ate bread to the full, for you have brought us out into the wilderness to kill this whole assembly with hunger. So, obviously having a lovely attitude at this point in life. But verse 4 is interesting because it goes right into God's response to this. And it's very convicting. But anyway, the Lord said to Moses, behold, I am about to rain bread from heaven for you, and the people will go out and gather a day's portion every day, that I may test them whether they will walk in my law or not. On the 6th day, when they prepare what they bring in, it will be twice as much as they gather daily. So Moses and Aaron said to all the people of Israel, "At evening you shall know that it was the Lord who brought you out of the land of Egypt." They're still questioning this. Like, they're still... I mean, it's relatable, but it also doesn't make any sense why we do this. But verse 7, "And in the morning you shall see the glory of the Lord, because he has heard your grumbling against the Lord. For what are we that you grumble against us?" And Moses said, when the Lord gives you in the evening meat to eat, and in the morning bread to the full, because the Lord has heard your grumbling, that you grumble against him, what are we? Your grumbling is not against us, but against the Lord. Not really a great situation to be in, but then the Lord, no, not the Lord, Moses. Then Moses said to Aaron, "Say to the whole congregation of the people of Israel, 'Come near before the Lord, for he has heard your grumbling.'" And as soon as Aaron spoke to the whole congregation of the people of Israel, they looked toward the wilderness, and behold, the glory of the Lord appeared in the cloud. And the Lord said to Moses, "I have heard the grumbling of the people of Israel. Say to them, at twilight you shall eat meat, and in the morning you shall be filled with bread. Then you shall know that I am the Lord your God." It's like God's constantly having to prove himself. And how often do we do that also? Just saying. I'm actually going to leave the comments on this video. I don't normally do this, but I'm going to leave the comments on this video open because I would love to hear your thoughts so far. So if you could just like pause the video, take a minute to write whatever you're thinking about this and about what I've said, because I just really want to hear your opinion on it right now. And then we'll go ahead and get into verses 13 through 21. In the evening, quail came up and covered the camp, and in the morning dew lay around the camp. And when the dew had gone up, there was on the face of the wilderness a fine flake-like thing, fine as frost on the ground. When the people... Oh, I think my mom's in the other room. Okay. Sorry for the spooky noises. Alright, when the people of Israel saw it, they said to one another, "What is it?" For they did not know what it was. And Moses said to them, "It is the bread that the Lord has given you to eat." When the people of Israel saw it, they said to one another, "What is it?" For they did not know what it was. And Moses said to them, "It is the bread that the Lord has given you to eat. This is what the Lord has commanded. Gather of it, each one of you, as much as he can eat. You shall each take an omer, according to the number of the persons that each of you has in his tent." And the people of Israel did so. They gathered, some more, some less, but when they measured it with an omer, whoever gathered much had nothing left over, and whoever gathered little had no lack. Each of them gathered as much as he could eat. And Moses said to them, "Let no one leave any of it over till the morning." But they did not listen to Moses. Some left part of it till the morning, and it bred worms and stank. And Moses was angry with them. Morning by morning they gathered it, each as much as he could eat. But when the sun grew hot, it melted. Okay, so right here, I am just really curious to hear your thoughts on, like, to me, I'm thinking about this in terms of, like, working for 6 days and then taking a rest on the 7th. So I'm almost curious, like, do you guys equate the manna from heaven that God provided these 6 days and gave extra on the 6th day for the 7th day? Do you, like, equate that to, like, money that we earn for working? Like, obviously God provides all our needs, and so I'm just thinking, like, does this apply to us, or was this just like a one-time situation for the Israelites in the wilderness? I don't know, and I really want to know your thoughts, so please comment and join the conversation. I would love to hear, like, your perspective on this and what you think as we're reading through this. Also, I am going to say I'm sorry I'm not really editing this. I really just kind of want to put it all together and make it as unfiltered as possible, so sorry for all the bloopers you get for free. But let's go ahead and get into verse 22. On the 6th day they gathered twice as much bread, 2 omers each. And when all the leaders of the congregation came and told Moses, he said to them, "This is what the Lord has commanded. Tomorrow is a day of solemn rest, a holy Sabbath to the Lord. Bake what you will bake, and boil what you will boil, and all that is left over lay aside to be kept till the morning." So then they laid it aside till the morning, as Moses commanded them, and it did not stink, and there were no worms in it. Moses said, "Eat it today, for today is a Sabbath to the Lord. Today you will not find it in the field. 6 days you shall gather it, but on the 7th day, which is a Sabbath, there will be none." So then I want to know, how does this apply? Because personally, I try to practice a day of rest every week, and I don't know necessarily like what the Sabbath really should look like in modern times, but I do try to take a break once a week, and I find that even like God knows what he's talking about, and like even now our bodies really do need rest like once a week. I mean obviously at night, but it's just, I can see the benefits of taking a day off every week. At least that's what I've experienced over the years. But I'm curious like what your thoughts on that are. Like, are there certain things that you follow for taking a day of rest or a Sabbath or whatever? Or you just kind of like don't really do that, or not sure if that applies now, which I think it does, just because it's part of the 10 Commandments, and we as Christians like practice that part of the Old Testament. So I don't know, I just really want to know like your thoughts on that. But then that is what I was talking about earlier, like if we apply the Sabbath today, then why do we not apply the manna part? Or how do we apply it? I don't know, that's what I wanted your thoughts on. So comment down below if you have anything to share. Alright, so then I mean, I really do encourage like taking a day of rest though. And we're going to read about that part, and then we'll finish up the chapter. On the 7th day, some of the people went out to gather, verse 27, but they found no manna. And the Lord said to Moses, "How long will you refuse to keep my commandments and my laws? See, the Lord has given you the Sabbath. Therefore, on the 6th day, he gives you bread for 2 days. Remain each of you in his place. Let no one go out of his place on the 7th day." So the people rested on the 7th day. Okay, whenever I read this, I'm just saying, my introverted self was like, yes, this is like a biblical reason to just stay in your house and not do anything. I'm just saying. So then how does like church work into that, and then 6 days of work? I don't know. Does it have to be on a Sunday or a Saturday or whatever? Like, is it a certain day, or is it just every 7 days? I don't know. But I'd love your thoughts. She asks for the millionth time. Let's continue and actually finish this chapter. Verse 31. Now the house of Israel called its name manna. It was like coriander seed, white, and the taste of it was like wafers made with honey. Moses said, "This is what the Lord has commanded. Let an omer of it be kept throughout your generations, so that they may see the bread with which I fed you in the wilderness, when I brought you out of the land of Egypt." And Moses said to Aaron, "Take a jar and put an omer of manna in it, and place it before the Lord to be kept throughout your generations." Okay, last comment. What happened to this? Do we know? Like, does it say later on in here and I'm just not remembering? I really want to know what happened to that. And then verse 34 through 36, as the Lord commanded Moses, so Aaron placed it before the testimony to be kept. The people of Israel ate the manna 40 years till they came to a habitable land. They ate the manna till they came to the border of the land of Canaan. An omer is the 10th part of an ephah. Interesting. Okay, that is the end of chapter 16. So then next time, I'm thinking every few days. It might even be next week. I'm not sure. I really do want to keep up with this. But the next time we will talk about Exodus 17. And I'm going to spend the next few days like reading over it a couple times and taking notes like I did on this. I can't guarantee that I will have, a page of notes like I did for this one, but I don't know. I kind of like doing it this way because to me, just like reading the verses, like, I don't know, I just like to have good context and the pronunciation of words and all that stuff beforehand. It just makes it kind of flow better, and then we're able to think about it more, I guess. So I like that. But that's all for today. Please make sure that you comment about those things I asked you, because I would love to hear your thoughts. And subscribe if you are new here. I would love to have you next time. And I will talk to you guys whenever that is. All right, bye.